hopefully. Yeah, hopefully this hair doesn't look awful on camera, we'll see. Hello and welcome back to Tucking It Up. My name is Tuck, and as you can see, I like to play around with makeup. So today's look is sort of a punk twist on a Pride look, right? So I have all the sort of the rainbow colors on my face, but I kind of wanted to give it a little bit more of an edge, and you know, there's kind of an aesthetic reason behind this. I wanted to use metallics, and I think when those are against black, they're really set off, but also a little bit more of a, I guess you could say, philosophical reason behind kind of merging these two. Anyway, if you'd like to hear me rant a little bit and also learn how I put together this look, please stay tuned. I'm going to do a strip of color right here along the eyes, right? That's going to be most of, I guess you could say, where the action is, and then the second part, of course, where some of the colors are going to live, will be on the lips. The colors on the traditional, old school, I don't know what you'd call it, but like the Pride flag, the one that most people are familiar with. So those are going to be red, yellow, orange, green, blue, and violet. Yeah, and I'm going to use a black base because I think, you know, that I just love black bases. I also kind of think that's sort of like Blade Runner, which again is a very strong influence on, I guess, what my aesthetic. And instead of using like matte colors, right, I'm going to use, or matte shadows, I'm going to use metallics instead. And while the black will kill some of the color, I think what it gives it a nice depth, and then also you only sort of like, you know, when the light hits it, that's when you really see the color, and I just think that's a really nice effect. So I mentioned that I never thought I'd kind of do a Pride look, and, you know, I guess I'll just talk a little bit about why. So I do, you know, Pride, I think, as like a concept, something for us to commemorate as a, you know, community, whether you're sort of queer identified or whether you're like an ally, you know, or just someone who feels different, right? I think it's important to have a time when we all reflect on sort of the need to have pride in who we are, and we shouldn't let outside sort of forces, outside messages tell us our worth, right? We should be able to feel like I, as I am, I'm valuable. That part of it I'm really into, and I really feel very strongly about, and a very, you know, strong positive feelings about. The part where I think I have a lot of hesitation now is the you know, really the corporatization and commercialization of Pride, or in late capitalist society. There's no better mark of, you know, you're part of the mainstream, if you will, or you're in, or you're kind of more accepted than if you have large corporations embracing your cause, right? But when I say embraced, right, it's not about actually necessarily, for the most part, right? There are exceptions, but for the most part, it's not about, you know, supporting I would say, the core message or the core purpose of your cause. It's very cynical in a lot of cases. It's just, oh, here's another opportunity for me to kind of make more money, right? Now that I've, you know, ranted and rambled for quite a while, let's actually get to maybe why you're here, which is the makeup. All right, now that you're zoomed in nice and tight, yeah, that sounded dirty. So I'm going to be using Colorfix matte from Danessa Myricks, and I'm going to use the shade Blackout. You could also use liquid lipsticks. I find a lot of success with using liquid lipsticks as like the base if I need it to be really opaque. Okay, so to start with, I am actually gonna like demarcate where the shape is going to be using Scotch tape, and you know, just take a length of it and then just, you know, put it on the back of your hand a few times because we don't want it to be overly sticky, and then just map out where the shape will be. So I'm just going to start by placing tape to act as a guide for the bottom, and you can use your sort of the corners of your eyes and the angles as a guide. Try and make sure the angles are sort of parallel between the top and the bottom, but don't worry too much about being super perfect at this point. Right, now that I look truly deranged, let's go in and put some of the blackout right between the tape. Using a flat brush, I'm just going to pat blackout all over between the tape. And at this point, you don't have to be like super perfect about it. And it doesn't have to be completely even either, because we're going to cover this up with the eyeshadow, which is going to be quite opaque. But you do want this to look as, pretty good. What's the phrase? Good enough for government work, at least. I've gone ahead and taken off the tape. You can see how nice and clean the lines are. Ideally, you might leave the tape on until you're done with the eyeshadow. You're done basically with the eye, but it's quite uncomfortable for me to have the tape on, so I'll just deal with it. Blackout is already starting to move a little bit on my eye on my eyelids, because I did not wait for it to dry, for it to set before I opened my eyes again. Obviously this line right here, right? That's not good. So I'm gonna go ahead and just refine everything and fill in as best I can. Alright, so now we're done with the black base. This is honestly the most time-consuming part of this makeup. And the rest of this is going to be really pretty quick, and I think a lot more fun because I don't have to be as precise. You see my lash line? I want to fill that in, just make sure that part you really don't see anything. And so I'm going to use a black pencil. I'm going to use the Permagel pencil from McGrath in black. And I'm going to do my upper waterline and then also the upper lash line. While we're here, let's just go ahead and fill in the lower waterline as well. I just want to give my eyes a little bit more color there, but not something that's too strong. Right, let's start on the eyeshadows. So as I mentioned, I'm using metallic shades almost exclusively, and I'm going to start off with the green kind of in the middle, right on my nose, and then it goes towards the eyes. And as a base for the green, I'm going to use two shades. The first is going to be Draco from Linda Hallberg. It's in the Metallic Mysteries 2 palette. It's kind of a darker emerald green. And then on top of that, just mainly at the bridge of my nose, I'm going to use VR Emerald from McGrath's Nocturnal Nirvana Astral Quad. And then for the eyes, I want to do gold as stand in for the yellow, and I'm going to use a pretty yellow gold for that, and it's going to be gold stand. You can use any yellow gold that you have, but I'm going to use gold standard again from McGrath, and I think this is in several of her palettes. The one I'm using is from the Mothership Mega, that giant palette. And then on the sort of the outside, just past the outer corner of the eye, I'm going to use copper instead of just standing for orange. And I'm going to use my favorite copper shade from McGrath. This is Blood Moon 005 from the, I think you can get it as a single, but anyway, this one is from the Mothership VI Midnight Sun palette. Finally, for the very sort of like the temples, that very sort of outside edge of this strip, I'm going to use Saturnalia, which is a red metallic from her. Again, this is from the Mothership Mega palette. Alright, so that's actually the eyes done then. I did clean up a little bit. I didn't record that, but just took a Q-tip, just cleaned up where I wanted to sharpen the lines and also where I had a little bit of fallout. With that, let me zoom out and then we can start on the base. It's going to be a pretty standard base. I'm going to use the L'Oreal True Match that I have in W3, but because I want my skin to be a little bit paler than it is now, I'm going to mix in a little bit from the Maybelline Fit Me. I have the shade 102. I'm not going to do too much blush. I'm going to do actually probably somewhat heavier contour and not too much bronzer, but probably a lot of highlight. Well, I didn't go too ham with the contour, but I was a little worried about I didn't want like too strong of stripes, but I think so far it's working with the rest of the look, and I like what it's doing on the nose where the green kind of goes into the rest of that highlight color. I want the brows to almost disappear, or at least not be so as strong as they are right now. So I'm going to use the Brow Engineer from Sensorium Beauty. I'm not going to use the shade Bleached, which actually matches my skin tone quite well, but the amount I have to use to kind of cover my eyebrows properly, it ends up almost emphasizing it more because the individual hairs become much thicker. So instead I'm going to use the shade Ash, which is an ash shade, and that actually, because I don't have to use as much of it, it helps my eyebrows just sort of become less sort of distinct. So let's move on to the lips, and we're going to put down a black base just like on the eyes. And you could use Blackout again, but I find the darker color fixes, if I have to get them really opaque on the lips, I just don't like the way they feel. So I'm going to use a liquid lipstick. It's going to be black liquid lipstick, I should say. It's going to be Alien from NYX, but you know, you can use whatever you like. And then on top of that, I'm going to press two shadows. For the blue, I'm going to use Ultraviolet Blue from Pat McGrath, and actually I think for the purple/violet, it's also going to be from Pat McGrath. It's going to be Blitz Purple. Alright, so now that everything's done, let me give you a quick tour as usual. Thank you so much for joining me as always. I hope I had a lot of fun creating this, and hopefully, you know, if this inspires you to create something, you know, be sure to let me know. I'd love to see what you do. The other reason I wanted to incorporate sort of a punk sort of aesthetic to this is I kind of wish that sometimes sort of the modern, if you will, you know, LGBT movement, like I kind of wish they had more of that attitude that they had maybe like in the 80s also, where as a punk attitude, and the attitude that I think a lot of activists had in the 80s, where it was more of like almost like a fuck you to the establishment. I feel like this acceptance, you know, from like commercial or corporate interests is very conditional. You know, we're only valuable because we're a market, right? Like, I mean, I guess that's capitalism. It's just, it bugs me that's the case. I hope as a community, right, we can reclaim what it means to be sort of, to have pride outside of, oh, I'm able to get a sponsorship, or oh, they're releasing a special rainbow themed whatever, right? A gesture that's sort of ultimately quite meaningless, I would say, in the grand scheme of things. But anyway, enough of my sort of philosophical ranting. If you like content like this, with less ranting, for the most part, please do subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, and until next time, bye!